injustice, this system full of racism.
Yeah. And one thing I look at and I see between all of us, we are all united here right now about the fact that we, the people, are the people that put them in place. Hold on. Let's get back at the table. Why not just go start your own league? Nice, clear water. I never knew that this would be such a privilege. More truth than you can handle. I remember back in the days that when it was all about going to the water faucet, drinking the faucet water at home. There was no water bottles. Water bottles didn't exist. And the simple fact that they figured out a way to hustle a natural resource like water, something that should just totally be free. Like there should be no limitations on it. It's interesting. And the fact that this is like a moneymaker, like it brings trillions of dollars, like bottled water is amazing. Kind of makes you think when they're going to start selling us air. I don't know if you're not aware, but if you've been sleeping, some serious shit's going on in Flint, Michigan. And it kind of reminds me of what happened in Katrina. Flint, Michigan is about 60% black, 30% Caucasian, and everyone else is spaced in between. And they're fighting for clean, clear water. Imagine waking up for almost about 2 years, having to bathe, having to cook, having to wash in water that looked like cooking oil, piss, shit, and all other things in between. It's like, for real, a golden shower. Imagine that. And also imagine 274 emails being sent to your local government and your higher politicians, like the governor, Mr. Rick Snyder, and all of it falling on deaf ears. Imagine your baby being sick by the same thing that they tell you is the most healthiest thing for us to drink. Imagine that. And nobody wants to take the blame. And it all stems on saving about $1 to $2 million. So they took the water in the Flint River instead of getting it from Detroit, and now they got their people sick, they got their people poisoned. You have lead poisoning cases. You have a disease that I've never heard of called Legionnaire disease. So far, you have 87 cases of people being sick, and we have 10 deaths. Reports right now. 2 years, about 2 years of negligence in a county that's about 100,000 people. 50 to 60% black. Children are drinking piss. Wow. This is not a third world country I'm talking about Flint, Michigan. Who's responsible? That's the biggest question. Who is going to be held responsible? Now, when you look at it, isn't it ironic that in 2016, here we are again. We're looking at a Katrina situation in the levees. When they broke, they knew 19 years ago there had to be something done. And the response time that was made for what they called the refugees, American people, mostly majority black, was so disrespectful and such a slap in the face that when I hear stories like this, I'm not even shocked anymore. Because history will always repeat itself until the system that is broken is eradicated and recreated by the people. We're going to continue to have these situations happen. So this doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is that people are in shock. What surprises me is people really are questioning why this is happening. Well, you know why it's happening. It's all about the dollar bill, baby. And they don't care about black lives. They don't care about those people in Flint. They're not worried about the people. They're trying to save money. And when Rick Snyder comes out, after now he has to publicly put out the emails, what he wants to do is give some apology. And I say this. If you do something at your job, let's say, your job, you're at your job, you're at your place of work, and you misplace some money, right? You misplace some money. The drawer is supposed to have $300 and now $100 missing. Guess what? You're going to get fired from your job. They may give you a warning, but they will look at it and be like, well, $100 when it was supposed to be $3, we're looking at you. You're out of here. So why isn't Governor Snyder being removed from office? It's been about 2 years, and just now this story is making waves. They have gone to city council, and I understand about going to city council. They've gone to public officials, bringing in jugs of water that look like dirt, cooking oil, shit, piss, and they've done nothing about it. And now, what I think is even more odd is why is it up to the people to bail out Flint, Michigan, when it should be the government taking care of that? Why do the people have to now rush and give bottles of water? Now, what's the urgency now? Because everybody knows what's happening? Because before it was okay. Before you just kind of shunned it off and it's not that serious, not that bad. They've done more damage than they've done good. And even when they try to start to figure out the problem, they made it a bigger problem. So all of those people are incompetent and don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, how many more episodes and more situations are we going to have to see? People of America, black, white, Mexican, Muslim, Asian, to see that this whole government, statewide, on every level, is corrupt, is broken, is damaged, and is not for the people. This stuff is happening in Flint, Michigan, but here in Sacramento, California, the homeless are fighting for rights. In Chicago, there's a big cover-up from police murder that we're just finding out now after a year. What more? What more do we need to see? And then, of course, you have the Oregon standoff that's still going down right now. I'm terrified to even have another child in this world at this point. I'm terrified for my 19-year-old daughter. I'm terrified for all my kids because I don't know what is going to happen next. The funny thing about it is we spend so much time believing that they would never do something like this. But they are doing something like this. This is like not by chance. This is no coincidence. We've seen this episode before. They haven't learned from the Katrina incident. They'll never learn because we don't care enough to do something about it, to hold these public officials to the highest degree of accountability and transparency. I'm sounding like a public official right now. Hint, hint. They have to be accountable. Because how do we vote these people in that say they're for the people to do the job of the people, and then when they don't do the job of the people, they stay in office? Like, how does this work? I remember the mayor of Detroit, Kwame Kilpatrick. Since we're talking about Michigan, right? When they found his hands in the cookie jar, they made him an example. And this brother, as dirty as he was, never did nothing crazy like this. Now, he did stuff for money and greed, but it wasn't damaging. It wasn't killing. It wasn't creating disease and sickness to children, to elders, to people in his community. But yet and still, you have Mr. Snyder, Governor Snyder, who walks and has immunity for whatever reason and has not resigned and said, I am going to take the responsibility because you were voted as our leader. But they never want to take blame. That's the scary part. So who takes the blame? And then why are we the people having to go ahead and give water bottles? And to be honest with you, I don't even know what I'm drinking. You tell me it's good water, but how do I know? I don't know. This probably came from a toilet. Boy, we are being misled on every level. Every level we're being misled. And we're being took for fools and idiots. And the time to rebel on all parts of government and to challenge all parts of government to make them uncomfortable on all levels, because election day is coming, 2016. It's coming. 2016, the people have the opportunity to really hold public officials accountable. Those that are going to try to be reelected and those who want to be elected. And I tell every single person statewide, disrupt, make uncomfortable these debates that they'll have in your town, and show up in force with your voices loud. Because it is happening statewide. This foolery, this corruption, and deception to the people. Flint, Michigan can be any state and city in America. Currently, there's a little bit of a scare in Sacramento with the water that we're drinking. Everyone's making backdoor deals to make enough money to cut money here and there so they can fatten their pockets. But they never think about the people. And these are the people that we elect. Stop trusting something that can't be trusted. The mistrust, the misdeeds that these people continue to do and display for us, and it comes out all the time, we have to start understanding what we're dealing with. And for those people that say that individuals who are standing up, who are stepping up, who are speaking against our governments are being too radical, look at the history. This is the same government that did a project that shot syphilis up in black men in an experiment. Come on. This is the same government that claimed Ebola was going to be the disease to wipe us all out. And the Africans created it, right? Just like the monkey created AIDS in Africa. Come on, you're not... Stop it. The truth is, the government can't be trusted. And every single day, they're showing us why. Corruption, deception, all throughout the United States. This is just not one incident. I pray for my people in Flint. I'm going to do the best that I can for my people in Flint. But it don't matter if I send 5 cases of water, because it shouldn't be up to the people to help the people there. It should be up to the government and the feds and President Obama and whoever else need to go in there and take control. It's bad enough Detroit is going bankrupt or is bankrupt, and they're about to even close about 70 schools. Well, I ain't gonna even talk about that. That's gonna be on another More Truth Than You Can Handle. We're just gonna focus on the water. But pay attention, y'all. 2016. It's time to take it back. More Truth Than You Can Handle.